I left the city, I've been browsing. Treading water that they drowning. I head on the swivel, yeah. It's only really my surroundings. They keep it all the way 1,000.
Hey everybody, it's Zach, aka Zach Reviews. We are back again with another video. And guys, I just got back from an early screening of Jungle Cruise at my local theater that I work at. And guys, all I have to say is that the trailers did not give this movie justice. When I saw the trailers for Jungle Cruise, I knew it was going to be a good movie. I had a little bit of doubts, of course. But I knew that I loved Emily Blunt, and I knew that I loved Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So I was going to see it regardless. But I am so happy the trailer, even though it didn't give it justice, this movie pulled through so freaking much. This was by far one of the best adventure movies I've seen in a very, very long time. I haven't seen, a really good adventure movie since the Indiana Jones movies and since the Mummy movies. And this movie, does wonders. This movie, is so new, so fresh. Emily Blunt and, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson do just a great performance in this movie. And I just love the premise of this movie of, a girl, Emily Blunt's character Lily is pretty much trying to get this flower from, the moon, the tears of the moon, and this tree, grants healing, and we all know that from the trailer. This is going to be a spoiler-free review, so there will be no spoilers, but literally, this is just a great movie all around. There were so many callbacks to different adventure movies beforehand, with Indiana Jones. There was a lot of Indiana Jones references in this, and I just got really a lot of Indiana Jones vibes in the beginning of the movie, and then it went to the different genres. It went to the Mummy with the brother and sister trying to go on an adventure, but they need a guide to to travel through the jungle. But we've seen that with other stuff, it compares, it was a big comparison to the Mummy with the brother and sister, and the sister's the head of of the adventure, she's the leader of the adventure almost, she's the one that's that has the group together to go on the adventure. So and then they run into the guide, which is a cocky person, which is again the guy from the Mummy, and then they have that banter back and forth, but they end up really liking each other. Pretty much that is this movie literally, and I really enjoyed it. There was just a lot of takeaways from it reminded me of the Mummy, it reminded me of Indiana Jones. And and there was a lot of funny moments in this movie, and the story of this movie is so good and so different and so fresh that I'm so happy that this movie I wanted it to be good, and it was great. It was beyond good. It was great, and I really do think that if you guys haven't seen this movie, you guys definitely go check this movie out. Literally, it comes out tomorrow, but I was lucky enough to see it a day early. And, I'm just so happy I got to do this review for you guys, because literally this movie hits so many levels of greatness. And, I heard that it was based off a Disney, a part of a Disney amusement park. Apparently, this movie was based off a part of an amusement park from Disney. So, that was really cool that, they did, a thing like that. Because this movie just had so many levels. The music reminded me of Indiana Jones. Some of the music reminded me of the big sequence when we see the tree unveil. It reminded me a little bit of Doctor Strange music a little bit. I mean, it's made by Disney, Doctor Strange and everything. So the music was very reminiscent, and the world building reminded me of Pandora from Avatar. So this world is just so beautiful and so unique, and I would love to see a sequel to this movie. I feel like they could definitely do it with this and make it a franchise, because it's so good. This one movie was just so good. I would love to see the world continue. And this just was an overall great movie. I'm as I said, I'm a big fan of Emily Blunt from A Quiet Place. And she was also in Devil Wears Prada. She's just a phenomenal actor. I literally love her, and she is my runner-up for who I want to play Sue Storm when they do Fantastic Four. And I really want her husband, John Krasinski, to be, Mr. Fantastic. So I'm really rooting that, they, are, Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic. That's what I'm hoping. But literally, also with, The Rock, he really, I've been a big fan of his, ever since, the whole, like since like Jumanji, and even though I was into a little bit of wrestling back in the day, so I've been an overall fan of The Rock for the longest time. So he's really stepping up his game with all the great things he's done with the Fast Saga, and with Jumanji and everything. Like, he has not really hit a miss of a movie, and he just blows me away in this movie, along with Emily, along with the great other amazing cast members. This movie is just so big and so fun and so wonderful, and I would just love to see, I don't know if there's like an updated version of this, Jungle Cruise in Disney, and like in Disneyland or Disney World. I'm not sure where it's at exactly, but I would love for them to really like make a part of the park, a Jungle Cruise, like, part of the park where you can actually get like, immersed in like the world of Jungle Cruise. I would love that. Like, if they made like a 3D ride, that would be sick. Because I loved this world and I want to see more. And, it shocks me that the trailers just weren't doing it for me, but I knew I was going to see it regardless. And I'm just so happy that, it really told me I had nothing to worry about. This movie was just freaking phenomenal. I definitely got to get a poster of this movie, literally, because, this movie is just, it made me love adventure. I mean, I've always loved adventure films, but we haven't gotten an adventure film since, Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. Like, that's how long it's been since we've gotten an adventure film. And they really do callbacks to The Mummy, to Indiana Jones, to like just world building of like, of the Pandora, of Avatar. Like, they really do those elements to really open this awesome world, especially with the creatures and of the jungle, and and of like the curses of the jungle, and and the myths of the jungle. You know what I mean? Like, we really get into the lore and the history of the jungle, and and we find out some great shocking moments about The Rock's character Frank, and we find out some and what he's been through in his life, and we find out some great things about and Lily, and why she's doing what she's doing, and and she's really like an Indiana Jones character. Like, if River Phoenix was still alive and he did like he was still young Indy and they did some young Indy movies, he would be the person that would be pretty much the Emily Blunt character of like an Indiana Jones type of character, because River Phoenix was he was a big animal lover, and we really see that with Lily's character. She's like an Indiana Jones, like and cares about animals and stuff, and we really see that in this movie. And, I really enjoyed that. So, like, there's just a lot of references here to, some great adventure films without, like, they're, like, taking a lot from it. They're just, like, honoring those awesome adventure films with an awesome, great story that they have in this movie. It's not like, that sums up their movie by what they, they honored in the other great adventure movies. They have a great story here that I really would love to see more of. I would love to see a big, like, updated theme park if it hasn't been updated yet. But guys, if you guys haven't, seen Jungle Cruise yet, I really recommend you guys go see this movie. It comes out tomorrow, so go to your local theaters, go check out this movie. If you guys are, still pretty much, cautious about going back to the theaters, I recommend, watching it on Disney Plus, because it'll be on Disney Plus tomorrow, if I'm correct. So, if you guys have Disney Plus, go watch it safe in your own homes. But if you guys are comfortable to go to the theater, I would definitely go check out this movie. It's a definite, like, must-watch in the theater, because, nothing beats a theater experience, so I would definitely go recommend, watching this in the theater. But without further ado, I'm going to end this video here. But I really want to know if you guys have seen Jungle Cruise. What did you guys think about this movie? And if you guys, were, hesitant on the trailers, if the trailers weren't doing it for you, this movie is definitely worth a watch. You will not be disappointed. It was freaking phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. My boss literally was like, oh, it looks great. How are the trailers not doing it for you? And I was like, I don't know, man. It's just, it wasn't doing it for me. But I was like, I have a feeling this movie's going to be good, though, even though the trailers aren't good. I feel like this movie could be good. And because, it was the same way for Kingsman. I didn't like the trailers and I loved the movie. Same way for a lot of movies. I never liked the trailers, but I love the movie. So, like, guys, like, go check out this movie. Even if you don't like the trailer, this movie will not disappoint. Like, at all. It's so different. It's so unique, but also, it honors some awesome adventure movies, some callbacks to things. And you can't help but just loving, like, you can't help but, like, to love adventure movies again. But without further ado, I'm going to end this video here. I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day. I'll talk to you guys in the comments. Peace.